Hi, I'm Pox.
I'm Rankable.
You're watching the Two Smart Guys show, where every week we bring you the latest and greatest and stuff.
Stuff.
It's getting more general with each episode. But no, seriously though, we cover the hacking of like little electronic gadgets and just general news on new developments like...
Your screen is so dirty.
Really?
I can see the fingerprints.
Yeah. And
No, don't go clean it, go clean it. Don't show the dirty iPhone.
Yours isn't dirty? How clean is yours? It's your phone.
I'm not gonna pull it out. I'm not gonna show you. Oh, that's because it's been gummed up by little hands. That's why. But in the news of the iPhones and the iPads,
the reason why there's so
devices,
many fingerprints on mine is because I've been using the new iOS6.
Oh, it's that great, huh?
It is. It is that great. It's like really cool. I can't even stop using it. I can't put it down.
All right. So what's the greatest thing about it so far? That's obvious.
Obvious thing is Apple and Google got in a fight, and Maps is out. So they got a new Maps application that I guess they outsourced a lot of it to different mapping companies. But one of the biggest thing is turn-by-turn navigation, and I think they're using TomTom as one of the sources that they use for that, for the routing of it. And it looks really good.
Is it streamed like Google Maps is, or is it stored and cached like TomTom is?
No, it's streamed.
It's streamed.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But it's all vector based like TomTom is. So it's not like pushing out images as you zoom in. Once it gets the vector, you know, when you zoom in and out, it's really smooth, and then it does the whole 3D thing like Google Earth, where you flip it sideways and all the buildings are there and they're textured and it looked really good. It's very impressive.
Interesting. Okay, so new Maps application.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and that free traffic too, like TomTom and
Google can't.
Other places charge for traffic, and this is included in the iOS.
Have you looked at that yet at all? Because I'm sure Wyoming it doesn't track very well in Wyoming.
We have no traffic. There's nothing to track.
Antelope, deer, horses.
That would be cool. I think I read something somewhere they are outsourced, or they are there's a way to do user something you can enter and stuff. So I wonder if you could put in there like antelope crossing. Hi, antelope.
Or when there's a herd of cow or a herd of cows.
Cattle drive.
Cattle drive, yes.
In Wyoming, they do cattle drives down the highway frequently.
Okay, besides the Maps application, anything else?
Siri, they updated Siri, so it's going to work on the iPad 3, and it also has some added functionality, such as like Maps. You can ask it, you know, give me directions to work, or you know, home, or the baseball field, or.
Have you tried that yet? Saying navigate to Blobbity Blobby Blobby Riverton or Laramie, Wyoming, yada yada yada.
Give me directions to Laramie, Wyoming. It could do this before through the maps, but it didn't actually give you the turn-by-turn.
Oh, okay.
So this time it actually does it on the maps here.
Okay, so did they add any other hooks for Siri and what it will talk to?
Yes, it now does sports, so if you're into sports, you can ask it for the...
Head south on Timber Lane.
Now I can show... Everybody knows where I live. But yeah, so it does sports and scores and tracking of teams and all that fun stuff that I care less about because I don't care about sports.
Anything else besides sports?
Movies. I do care about movies. Like I can say, when's the next showing of the Avengers? And it'll be like, oh, the next showing of the Avengers is at 3 o'clock at the Gem Theater. And I say, play me the movie trailer for Frankenweenie, and it will.
Movies matching smart guys.
And it's just checking movie theaters.
So it just plays movie trailers.
Yeah, it plays... Yeah, so it's limited right now. This is the beta 1.
Well, it's interesting because it'd be nice to see if somebody could expand that and interface into YouTube.
I think that's what everybody hopes for, but right now I think they're limiting Siri on purpose to make it more accurate. So there's certain things it does, like it does, you know, it does calendar. It now launches applications, though. It can now launch applications, you know, sports, movies, and restaurants. It does math. It does Wolfram Alpha questions, and straight up Google search, basically, if it doesn't find out otherwise. It's like the bottom of last resort. Oh, and maps.
It's getting better.
Yeah.
It's getting better.
And they still call it beta. Well, maybe they're not calling it beta in this one, but in the 4S, it was called a beta feature.
So do they have to scale it up because it's being hosted server side? It's something that has to process on their end, and they have to get essentially gather so much data before it's useful?
Probably. I don't know. I know, like, back before they actually bought it, when it was just an app, it used to do restaurants before. And it also used to do plane travel information, which it still doesn't do. So, who knows?
Because when it was on the Android, it was probably interfacing with another app to get the plane information.
I don't know if it was on Android. I think it was just an iPhone app.
Was it iPhone?
Yeah. I think so. If I'm wrong, correct me in the show notes or the comments. But I believe it used to be just an app for the iPhone. And nobody cared until Apple bought it and made a big deal out of it for the 4S.
Yeah, Apple. Anyways. Okay, so Siri's gotten a tiny boost. Got a new Maps.
Facebook is integrated like Twitter is now. So everything's got...
everybody bitched and screamed, and finally Facebook's in there.
Yeah, so Facebook's in there. But I noticed when I went to go post a photo in the photo stream, it gave me options for other things. Like, I think other apps can tie into the, like, Send To now. So you don't have to, so it could go to other things other than just, you know, Twitter, Facebook, email. It's, like, got options where you can scroll through it, and there's a
So
bunch of...
do you think, are you saying that they're opening that hook up to other developers?
I think so. I mean, there's certain parts where it's more hard integrated into the OS, but just for photo sharing, it looks like it's more open. Like, you know, Instagram or Hipstagram or whatever.
Hipstamatic. Well, that's interesting because, like, Hipstamatic and Instagram, or like at least Hipstamatic can go and post to Instagram, but I don't know if it's kind of going out through the web service and back in and doing it through the app. Because the way that I understood the model is that each application is essentially sandboxed in their own environment, and they can't really talk to anything else. So I'd like to know how they open that up. So
I don't know, but I've seen apps lately that call other apps.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So there's something.
How are they doing that? Because as far as I understood it, every application is sandboxed.
I don't know. You should ask them when you were over there.
They would have shot me in the head. You asked too many questions.
This Passbook thing looks really interesting, but I haven't found a way to use it yet. It's like a wallet, and
that means we're going to lose it?
Yeah, so basically, so your boarding passes, tickets, store cards, coupons, they show barcodes for people to scan on your phone. So you can enter in all your crap that you have in your wallet, in theory, if it's supported. The boarding pass is really cool because it's live, so it'll show you like your gate changes and departure times and delays and things. So that's kind of cool.
Interesting. I mean, the other parts of it is just functionality that have been in other apps for a while now. Like, I use one to keep track of all my receipts, and another one to keep track of all my credit cards and my account information, like that.
Yeah, it's just going to be kind of nice that it's going to be like the supported main app or the main hook to the OS that other people, I guess, can tie into it. I'm thinking that must be how it works, is you have to have an app that supports that call or whatever. Otherwise, there's no options anywhere for this thing. Either that or it's not live yet in this version.
I don't know. I paid my money for my other apps, and I'd rather support them.
Well, that's the thing. They'll probably tie into this. Like, it's more like a notification center. Like, when you're in the lock screen, you can pull it up and just start going through your cards. It has potential. It's interesting. What else they got? FaceTime finally over 3G. You don't have to have Wi-Fi.
You don't have to have a jailbroken iPhone.
No, now you can do FaceTime with the quality of a couch guy connection.
Speaking of couch guy, where is he?
Laundromat.
He can't do the show from the laundromat?
Apparently not. Either that or he's just chickening out because he's an Android guy.
Well, it's always nice to have an outsider.
Well, that's what I was saying. It's like saying he should, give input on what the Android equivalent of some of this stuff is, because a lot of this stuff probably already exists in a third-party app on Android.
Yeah, or basically, oh yeah, Android's had that for years.
Yeah, exactly. They actually updated something in the phone this time around, which is, I don't think they've ever done it before, have they?
Like the phone app itself?
Yeah, they have send to voicemail, which was kind of there before. You could just hit the standby button, and it would...
Yeah, you just hit the top button and go straight to voicemail.
Yeah.
They actually made that a dedicated button now?
Well, yeah, now it's an option, so like when people are calling, you can tell it to do that, or you can tell it to reply with a message. So you can be like, I'm in a meeting, or whatever. And you can
like
also...
give the person a special recording or a text message.
I think that's a good question. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. I assumed it was a text message, but maybe it's a voice recording and be like, I'm busy.
I guess that's okay.
I don't know. And then remind me later, which is kind of cool. Be like, oh, just remind me later to call this person back.
What?
I haven't tried it yet.
Well,
call me and I'll ignore you.
And then you ignore me, and then it's kind of like that notification center for the text message that is on by default, and it'll ding and ding and ding and ding and ding until you answer it.
Maybe. Oh, which is another cool thing they added. The do not disturb. So you can set it for nighttime. So that
is awesome.
Facebook updates that people like to post at 3 a.m. don't pop up and ding and...
Well, I ended up disabling Facebook notification center entirely, which for a while was broken. I think I turned it off and it still kept coming in. So
same here. Yeah.
I got so pissed that I uninstalled the app.
Really? Yeah. So what I started doing was I just modified the notification center. Because I tried turning it off and that didn't work. So what I went in and did is I made it so that it didn't do any sound or buzzing and... yeah.
I don't care if you posted you won something in a slots game. Not in the morning.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. And the nice thing is you can have an option to make it let persistent people through. So like if somebody calls right away within like a certain time period, I think it's like within 30 seconds, they call a second time, then it'll go through. So if it's like a real emergency, they can call twice and then it'll ring through to wake you up.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'm glad that they're putting that in.
So that's kind of cool.
They must be listening to somebody.
Yeah. Or they're getting too many phone calls. They're like, man, these people won't stop bugging me about the missing phone features. We should put a feature in there to ignore them better.
So, some very significant functional updates to the phone. Anything else besides those two things? Do not disturb and...
Oh, no. I don't think... I think that's it. Yeah, just do not disturb and remind me later and...
Anything else?
Anything else? Oh, the mail application. They put a VIP inbox so that you can have like your...
A what?
A VIP inbox. So like you could designate certain email addresses to be like important ones, so they'll go into their own little email box. Kind of like what Google tried to do with the whatever it was called. I forgot. Some kind
priority passing importance. Some
except for it's not
label.
Yeah, except for not automatic. It's just you specify who's important.
Except that it's useless for me with Google because I already filter everything. So.
Yeah. Well. Anyways, that's something.
It's for the people that are too lazy to set up rules or filters and folders.
Yeah.
Box.
Hey, you did it for me. What else is there? Oh, Safari is going to be able to sync between all your devices, so you can pick up browsing experiences across your phone, your
that's
iPad,
and
your
idea.
Mac, your
I'd
PC.
like to see them try to do that across more of their native applications, not just Safari.
Yeah, they're doing it also with the stores. So the App Store and iTunes and whatnot, it'll do the same thing.
Okay.
So it'll sync kind of where you're at, which is new. And I love the new ones. For some reason, they're like super smooth. I don't know what they did, but the whole OS is like really smooth and more bouncy or something, more springy.
The store, the OS. What are
Both.
you talking about?
Both.
Bouncy.
I don't know how to explain it. You usually have to use it, but like, you know how there's like inertia, like when you go to things and you let go and it pulls up and it bounces a little bit. Just the whole flow of it's like more. There's like inertia and like kind of a recoil, and
They put it up from 2 to 3.
I don't know. It's smoother, and then like on the App Store when you install stuff, there's a little button to hit install instead of having to go into the main page and then enter your password. And you still have to enter your password the first time, but it doesn't exit out of it and start installing it. You can just be there and install a bunch of stuff.
Oh, so they made it kind of like the Mac App Store.
Yeah, more like the Mac App Store or Android. It's had for years.
Exactly.
My phone's still trying to navigate me to Laramie. Accessibility, I didn't read too much on this because I don't need it yet.
It's an interesting because they put a lot of these features so far have been. It seems like complaints from users or from the community of stuff that's lacking. So I'm interested. What did they put in for accessibility?
Who is that? The famous blind guy. He was really touting the iPhone. He was really like saying, "I use this all the time. This is like so important to me." Not Ray Charles. The other one.
How does he know what he's clicking on?
He can tap. He can tap it to do letters like Braille and stuff. It's interesting, and then it reads to him. It's got text to speech, and so he can do his emails and phone calls. And I don't know exactly how it works, but he was showing it off, and it looked pretty impressive. And apparently they added a lot more functions to that for people that are blind or deaf or
deaf.
Yeah. A phone for people who can't hear.
Deaf.
Yes.
How do they make that work?
You can still do video calls, and now you can do it over 3G, and
that's true.
You can still do email.
Actually, that's a pretty good idea. FaceTime for the deaf, the deaf population, because that's actually a neat idea. That it gives them a more accessible means to talk to each other, because a lot of the times it's something like, well, I can Skype with you, but no, this other person doesn't have Skype, or this other person will have, I've got this special unit, a VP, but you've got to have another VP to talk with me. And
yeah. And then there's limiting for children, so you can lock them into an app and disable the buttons or portions of the screen.
You do what now?
There's you can basically crop a portion of the screen and lock it so that some people can only use certain aspects of the device, which is kind of neat.
That's kind of neat. I'm wondering if they put that into a provision or configuration profile that you can push out to other devices. I imagine that's the sort of thing that would be needed for an educational district.
They did. They were talking exactly about that, so that they could lock kids into tests, so they couldn't go out to Safari and find answers.
Oh, see, that's good. I could use that.
And what else is there? Oh, and then thinking illegal things. They are updating the Track My iPhone. Track My iPhone? Find My iPhone.
Well, what do they need to do with that?
They added the ability to track the person who stole it. So it'll actually you can put it into lost mode, and it'll keep itself from turning off the GPS and.
Oh, so if a person hasn't enabled a passcode and they haven't locked it remotely, they still have to put it in lost mode, though.
Oh no, you do it from your end. So from
well, I'm saying if you're going to do it from that end, you might as well just lock the device and then call it good.
Oh well, yeah. I can't remember what it does now, but there was something else that it did. It tracks it on a map, from the point that you lost it. You can figure out where it's going. So you say it's lost, and you can see where it's going from that point.
Oh, okay. So the Apple servers are essentially checking in with the device every couple of seconds and tracking it on that.
Yeah, yeah. So after it's lost, then you can track it. So you can be chasing them down the road or whatever, instead of sitting there and tapping it over and over again.
That might make for some interesting games of like hide and seek on a town scale, or an interesting game of cops and robber for adults.
They enabled it for Mac laptop computers too. It works fairly well somehow. I don't know how.
Based on which Wi-Fi it's connecting to?
Yeah, it must be through Wi-Fi based location.
Hmm.
But it's pretty accurate when I've used it. So.
You lost your MacBook before?
No, I was just tracking a phone, but it shows all your devices.
I know. Yeah. I had to track one before, and we were able to pinpoint it to the outside on the street in the car.
Wow.
Open the door, and there it is in the boot.
I guess.
Anyways, any other changes that are significant?
That's it. That's all. That's major changes.
They were all pretty minor changes. Anything that caught your interest? Anything else?
No. That's about it. Just the main thing is the maps and the speed of it. The whole OS seemed a lot better. I guess that's really it. The other big thing is, that there is Siri now on iPad 3 and iPhone 4S, but all the other ones aren't going to get it. All the other devices won't get Siri.
And why is that? Or it's probably because of the marketing thing.
Yeah, so you'll buy the new devices, I'm sure, because it's not a technical limitation, because people were porting it before.
we've covered how to get Siri onto just a regular iPhone 4.
Yeah. So it's not a technical limitation, although it probably could theoretically slow down stuff because it's just another process running on the phone.
Mine's actually kind of acting sluggish lately.
Yeah.
Was there any news about when the next iPhone is coming out at all?
No, just rumors. Fall.
Just rumors. They just did a hardware refresh on the Mac side, on the MacBook and the MacBook Pro side.
Oh yeah. That new Retina MacBook is pretty sweet looking.
I might have to go chop in my arm and go buy one.
Yeah, I might be selling this one that I'm talking to you on. Yeah, it's all flash based, like 400 megabytes per second transfer on the read and write, and the resolution, you can edit full def 1080p video and have the controls for editing it on the screen at the same time.
So what's that resolution?
It's insanely high. I can't remember, but it's higher than high def. It's not 4K, but it's close. And it's only 15 inches.
That's insane. How can you read anything on that?
And it's just slightly thicker than a MacBook Air. Yes,
that was the other thing I heard too, is that they were about the same size. How do you have a 15-inch screen with... the text is going to be like...
Okay, so they do text doubling on old apps. Or they do pixel doubling on old apps, and it looks like crap. But all the new apps and native apps look really sharp and clear. It's the same.
Are they calling this the Retina display for their MacBooks?
Yeah. It's not. Okay. It's a new MacBook Pro. It's a MacBook Pro Retina. So it's a whole nother line. It's a different series. So there's the MacBooks, the MacBook Pros, and the Air, and now there's the MacBook Pro Retina. It's a different model completely than all the other ones. It has different ports on it. It has a different MagSafe adapter. It's got a different way they build the Retina display screen, so it uses less layers, so it's thinner, and it has no optical drive.
Interesting.
And it's only available at flash memory. You can't get a hard drive.
And it's only going to be $5,000.
More like $3.
Anyways, you ready to wrap this up?
Yeah. That's about twice the length I was hoping for. If you guys have any comments below on the OS and questions, I can try and answer the best I can. I'll be playing with it in the next couple days. I get on my iPhone 4S and iPad 3.
All right. I'm heading out now.
All right. See you guys next week.
Bye, internets.
Bye.
This has been the Two Smart Guys production.